Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn pointers in C. So we're going to solve a HackerRank problem and we're going to learn how to solve the codes for pointers in C. You can see the objective here and the task is to complete the void function it receives. So let me explain you the entire question in a very simple language, the task that we're going to do. So let's first understand the task. So the task is to work with pointers in C. You need to write a function that takes two integer pointers, update the values they point to, and then these updated value will be printed by the main function. For that, here's what you all need to do. First, you have to modify the value of the first integer pointer to sum of the two integers. And second, modify the value of the second integer pointers to the absolute difference of the two integers. So how let me just break down the problem that you're going to solve. So first thing you all need to know is what is pointers. A pointer is a variable that stores the memory address of the another variable. You can access and modify the value stored at the memory address using the dereference operator, that is star. Like we also use that for multiplying, right? The star operator. So the task here is to write a function void update int star a and int star b, right? So that's the, as you can see it in the task, you have to write the two pointers int star a and int star b, complete the function. Then you have to set the value pointed by a to sum of values pointed by a and b, then sets the value pointed by b to absolute difference of the values pointed to a and b. Okay, you can see the sample input here 4 and 5, 9 and 1. So you know what basically a pointer is. Here we are using a pointer. Pointer means a variable. Basically it's a variable that stores the memory address of another variable, right? Now let's write the code and I'll explain. I'll just remove this code and write it from the start so that will be easy for you all to understand. And I'll explain you each and every line of the code. Watch the video till the end. I'll be explaining you all each and every line, okay? In a very simple language, I'll explain you all. Void, what you're doing here is function to update the values pointed by A and B. So we're going to update int star A, it's a pointer, int star B, some plus star difference to difference. Let's write that main function. And A printing the results. Alright, so let me just explain you the entire code from the first line. Hash include std.ioh. Why did we use it? We used it to include the standard input output library that is necessary for using. To use printf and scanf, you always need to include the standard input and output library, right? Then next, why did we use stdlib.h? We use that to include what it does basically is it includes a standard library for using absolute function to compute absolute values. In this in this library there is in this library there's an absolute function. The absolute functions are stored in these libraries. So to take that function you have to include that library, right? Then function update. Why did we use the function update? Like void update int star a, that is pointer a pointer b, is to declare the named update that takes two pointers to the integers as parameters. Then why did we use int sum and like int sum equals to pointer a plus pointer b? It what it does is it dereferences the pointer a and b to get their values, adds these values and stores them in the result sum. And int different does the same thing. It calculates the difference and it stores them in the result diff, right? So in this code, what we did was first we included the libraries, then function, we wrote the function to update the values pointed by A and B, right? This function you can see void update. We use this function because we have to update the values pointed by A and B. Like int sum, this what it does is calculate the sum of two pointed values by A and B. Then next int difference, what it did was it calculated the absolute difference of the values pointed by A and B. And then third, what it does was it updated the value pointed by A to the sum, right? Pointer A equals to sum. What it did was it updated the value pointed by A to the sum. Similarly, pointer B, what it did, it updated the value pointed by B to the absolute difference. Then we wrote our main function where we first declare the variables into A and B, then reading. How do you read the function? Using the scanf function. Then we are going to call the updated function with pointers A and B. So used update and A comma and B. That was used for calling the update function that we wrote before main function. So what it did was we called that function now. Then we printed the values of the updated values, right? Now let's run the sum and check. Okay, we are getting the wrong output. Let me just check. Where is it? Standard input output. Okay, 4 9 we're getting. Okay, there is something wrong in this problem. Let's just check what it is. And B, scan it percentage D and A and B. Okay, we didn't put this sign minus. Let's run it. So we made a big mistake over there. Okay, see, we have passed the test cases. Input was 4, 5, output was 9 and 1, and expected output was 9 and 1, right? Did you understood? See, like for sum 4 plus 5 it was 9. As for difference, it was 1. The sum was 9, difference was 1, and you're taking the absolute value, that means no negative signs, right? Yeah. Thank you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and please comment down which part of the code you didn't understand. Thank you.